team was, you know, the maturity was on display at the end of the game. And I think last year, the year before, this is the type of game we'd lose when a team would make a big run on us. And I was impressed just with their maturity. After Columbia made an impressive run to take the lead, I thought the team showed poise and purpose to go on a run of their own and salt the victory away.
Questions for Orlando or D'Angelo first, please.
We're a shy bunch of reporters. For both players, you just heard them talk about poise and maturity. Where do you guys still think you have to go in that? I mean, do you still think that coming out early, you guys need to take the opponent a little bit more seriously or be a little bit more aggressive? And should a Columbia be making a run to come back on you guys?
I think it's just when they go on a run, you know, limit their runs instead of letting it go to like 11 or 12, limit it to like 7, and then, you know, we'll still keep that the 5-point edge that we have. So I think just limiting their runs, because, you know, teams are gonna make runs on, you know, anybody. So that's how basketball is played. So just limiting their runs, and I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think we have to start better every game, because for me, every game is like one final. We have to defend more, go to the rebound, and do whatever we can to put the other team behind us.
Can you guys explain just what the difference is? You know, you see the difference in intensity sometimes when there's a 1-point game, you guys turn it up and you see something different than when you guys are up 10 and it kind of would come back and it would kind of go back and forth like that. I mean, is there any way to replicate that urgency or create that?
I mean, it goes along with, you know, having a sense of urgency. You know, we have to have that, you know, each and every possession, not just when we're up 1, up 12, or even up 25. You know, we always have to play the same. So, you know, that's things we can work on. So, you know, it's always good to have things that like we can control. So, you know, as long as we do that, we'll be fine.
Guys, runs will happen in games, but does this sort of alarm you heading into Big East play, this type of game?
You know, Columbia's a good team. You know, we studied the Michigan State tape, you know, because they took Michigan State, which was a top 10 team. You know, I think they were down 2 with like 2 minutes left. So, you know, we knew coming in they were a great team. You know, we scouted them well. So, you know, we knew they were going to make a run. You know, we just, you know, we cut it off, and you know, we pulled out the victory. You know, that's all that matters.
Orlando, why do you think that the team isn't playing with the intensity that it played at the end when the game begins?
I don't know, like, I think I don't really know. We had to start at the beginning. I think, like, we had to start different, like, it's the last 5 minutes to put everybody behind.
Do you think that this is a game that would have won a Big East? Do you think you guys played a game that would have won in the Big East?
I mean, I think so. You know, the way we, you know, finished the game, we limited our run. You know, we did have some calls go away in the first half, but, you know, we fought through it. I think we built a 14-point lead, you know, so those are things we can work on, you know, next level for us is pushing that 14 lead up to 20, and, you know, just going on from there.
Dave, just from a chemistry standpoint, now you guys have had 2 months kind of to get acclimated to some of the new pieces and everything like that. Where would you guys say you are, especially on the offensive end, just in terms of how comfortable you are with each other?
Well, we're in a great place. You know, we're all sharing the ball. You can see it. Something like Coach told us today. Sometimes you have to shoot. You can't pass when you don't have a wide open layup. So those are things that you like to see, even though we turn it over. But you know, the team's in a good place. You know, I like where we're at.
Anything you specifically learned after giving up the lead from today that you can take away from?
You know, I think a couple of the teams in the Big East run some of the prison offense, so it's good to see it now, early, and you know, so we'll probably work on that, you know, some, you know, just the back cuts and stuff like that. But you know, we're gonna get better at that, and just get better defensively, and we'll be all right.
Guys, just because this is apparently the right time to ask questions about your next game, you know, how do you guys feel about embarking on this new Big East, You know, I mean, some of the faces are going to be familiar, but some of them aren't. Is that going to make playing in the Big East more challenging?
Not necessarily. The way our team is, you know, we do a good job of scouting, watching film, you know, studying players like homework. So, you know, we're going to be ready to play Xavier, and, you know, we'll probably start tomorrow with preparation, and, you know, we'll go from there.
Anything else for Orlando or D'Angelo?
I got a question.
Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. Orlando, what was the big difference in the game today?
We're going a lot to the rebound, like offensive. I think that we press the ball a lot. We don't let the people call too much, and we take a business.
Anything else for Orlando or D'Angelo? Thank you, guys. Questions for Coach Lavin?
Steve, there's always, you know, two sides, I guess, to a coin. You guys feel good about holding them off and closing out. Absolutely. You're hearing a lot of questions about consistency. So, you know, put your objective eyes on it for a second. I mean, is it a good win, or is it a win that shows where you got to go?
Well, this is precisely the game I expected, but there's always a myriad, or a laundry list of items or areas of play that I want, you know, our team to improve on. But pretty much, you know, this is what the Princetons, you know, what we saw was a team that the recipe for staying in a game is exactly what Columbia did. 9 of 18 from the three. They controlled the tempo, and they hung around. You know, so there's a number of areas that we have to improve upon. But the good news is most of the teams in the country feel the same way. You know, everyone at this stage of the year would like one more month in getting ready for conference play. So, but the game itself was, you know, our staff knew. I mean, we watched the Michigan State game. We watched this. You know, we know Kyle. We know about their program. We know their personnel. And they got very capable. It's the biggest team we played this year in terms of size, which probably surprises people. So this is the biggest team that we faced all season, and that may surprise some people. It's why they hung around with Michigan State. You know, they banged with the best team in the Big Ten. And then they knock down threes from long range, and they're highly skilled, and they stay with that pattern, and they just are very deliberate and methodical in their approach. And so it's difficult to create separation from teams like this. Michigan State struggles with them, you know, we're going to struggle with them. And that was at Michigan State, you know, so not even a neutral site. So I think, you know, some of this is about Columbia. Is a team that plays a very cohesive brand of basketball, and we tip our hat to their efforts today, and pleased that our team is maturing to a point where we can win a game like this. Where last year UNC Asheville, or you know, Northeastern the year before that, I think it was, you know, we lose those games, and so this is a step in the right direction. Are we pleased with where we are? Are we satisfied? Are we complacent? No, we've got a long way to go in a number of areas. And I thought today, you know, was a step in the right direction. You know, naturally, you'd love to win every game 120 to 80, and we'd like to play every game at a pace where it's pedal to the metal, fast and furious, and we get 120 points. But the reality is, in college basketball, if you look at the scores around the country, not every team is going to be able to do that, and so you have to be able to win at various tempos. And today, we were able to play a team that's methodical and deliberate, win, and we've also, you know, shown we can go up against a team like Syracuse and be competitive, and we can score 100 on a Fordham, and you know, now we got to get ready for Xavier. You know, expect the unexpected, lots of areas to improve upon, but I'm glad we got the win today.
Steve, you've obviously seen a lot of teams going zone against you guys this season, trying to limit you guys from getting out of transition. what is the counter on your end, and I guess how confident are you going forward in grinding games like this out, going against yourself?
I love our team because of the depth, you know, and that we can play fast, and we can play slow, and we can win at different tempos. And so I like the pieces to this group. I like our personnel. I like our makeup. I really like this team. You know, obviously we're picked in the lower half of the league, and you can see why. But we think we can surprise some people. You know, we might actually be competitive against some of those teams in the top half of the league, even though people expect us to finish in the bottom of the league.
Does any of the slow start have to do with, do you think, playing in Brooklyn or anything like that? And going forward, what do you think this does for the branding of St. John's, which I know is a big factor sometimes?
Yeah, it's funny. You know, I wasn't even aware of slow start, fast start. I was just more. We knew we were in for a dogfight. When you play a team like Princeton or Columbia, they're going to pass the ball, let the shot clock expire without even taking shots. I mean, that happened a number of times. It's basically like playing against a team that stalls. You know what I mean? So it's a credit to them. It's a particular brand of basketball that's been effective, going back to Pete Carrill and other coaches who've adopted that style, and they're going to pass it for the entire shot clock, even if it goes off and they don't get a shot up, because it's the way they play. You know, so hats off to them. But you know, on our side, we're just glad we were able to win today. But I didn't even see that. You know, I don't know if we're down 20 in the first half or something. I have to go back and look and watch the film. Really, a lot of it's a blur. You're just glad to get the W and move on and keep working on things that need to be improved upon. It's another year of coaching.
Steve, when your team has generally been trying to close out a win, most of the time it's been D'Angelo driving,
Sure.
Getting to the line,
Yeah.
you know, or making a shot. You had a possession maybe in the last minute where it was pretty clear that that's what D'Angelo wanted, but he
Sure.
just wasn't getting the foul call.
Mm-hmm.
He gives it to Pointer, and Pointer gets a 3-point.
That was nice.
Are we seeing an evolution in how you guys will finish out?
Yeah, I
Who
think-
will step up?
I think what we're seeing since the end of the Syracuse game, I think our team, you know, realizes that there's balance, and you know, we have 7 guys capable of getting 20 points on a night. You know, and all 13 players on scholarship have started for St. John's at one point or another in their career. That's unique. I don't know if there's a program in the country that has that. And so every player has started. You know, I've got confidence in the different combinations of players that we can start, and the rotations in terms of players coming off the bench. And I thought, you know, in the first half, Max's 3 was big. You know, Gift, I think, had 5 points. Branch had 3. You know, so I think we had a productive bench in the first half too. And then late in the game, I thought Rashid staying out of foul trouble, Dom's 3-point play, Jakar and Orlando on the boards. You know, our free throw shooting was atrocious, and that's been something that's been better this year. It's been up comparatively to last year, so is our 3-point shooting. But today our free throw shooting was horrific, or we would have probably won going away. But the free throw shooting kept, or our poor free throw shooting kept Columbia in the game. And then their hot hand from distance, they had 9 out of 18 threes. Again, you got to tip the hat to them. You know, they shot lights out from long range. That's how they stay in the game. They had 11 threes against Michigan State. They had 9 against us. And then once you stretch to the 3-point line, they do an effective job of back cut. You know, so it's kind of a pick your poison. You know, and we didn't want to go zone because they put 4 shooters on the floor, and they're even more patient against the zone than they are against, you know, your man-to-man. So that slows the game. The tempo is even more methodical. So, but all these experiences are great because you learn from them, and I think it helps you develop your teams. You get ready for conference play because you've seen